And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summer presentation of the iLeague Season 3 Dota 2 Chinese qualifiers. Here we've got the Hyper Glory team versus TongFu.WZ 2-game series ahead of us. This is going to be the last 2 games for our broadcast today, but they should be pretty interesting. We've got 2 teams that I think are pretty well on par with one another. On their really good days, I think HGT might outclass TongFu.WZ, but on average, I think that they're fairly close. And these 2 teams are also going to be the ones that are really looking for those points here in the group stage. Like, they have the potential to advance forward, but these games are going to be the most critical ones. The ones where they could go either way. They really need to put emphasis on these games here, and we'll see how it pans out. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, I myself am Blaze, and we're going to be going into this first game of this 2-game series. So, looking at 6.84, we've seen a lot of different heroes, a lot of different priority systems for different heroes, but reigning supreme seems to be the Undying and Queen of Pain being overwhelmingly powerful. In some cases, the Spirit Breaker, Lina, that kind of thing as well. But Beastmaster ban, I actually have not seen, but Bingo plays such a frequent and impactful off-lane Beastmaster that I understand the ban here. And that leaves TongFu.WZ to go for their Shadow Fiend Rubik response to the Lina first pick. So now we've got Io, we've got Brewmaster, we've got Earthshaker, and we're seeing this draft kind of take fold. So
5 seconds.
Yeah, let's see how that plays out. I mean, Witch Doctor Invoker band's pretty interesting here. Obviously, Shinkyu likes to kind of put on the fancy footwork when it comes down to like the more mechanical heroes like Tinker, Invoker, that kind of thing. So if he gets that opportunity, I'm sure he'd take it, and that's going to be the ban out. The Witch Doctor, it's more kind of like an annoying counter to Brewmaster. It's very frustrating for Brewmaster to go up against that cask, and there is a lot of potential for the cask to also ruin Io's day with the tether. So taking care of the Wisp, probably a good ban to take off the table, and TongFu.WZ might be looking for a support and a safe lane carry. For now, the Earthshaker could be played as either, but I think that they're looking for the offlane Shaker in this case for Bingo. Or at least that's what HGT seemed to be implying with their Witch Doctor ban. There's also the ban out of the Tiny and the Night Stalker. Obviously, we've seen both paired up with the Wisp. The Tiny is really good with the Wisp and has kind of the classic combo. But Night Stalker, Vici Game was able to execute pretty well with a duo offlane of Night Stalker and Wisp, and that's something to be scared of as well. I think it was TongFu.WZ that actually might have been up against them in that game, so maybe that's exactly, it's just a little post-traumatic stress from that game back then. But they're going to pick up the Slark here, so that's going to be the safe lane carry, and we'll see if it's going to be effective enough. I mean, it's really good against the Drunken Haze, and not too bad against Tether, but you will have to keep in mind that up against things like the Light Strike Array can have some real difficulties, and we'll just see if he's impactful enough. If this is a mid Lina, then Slark is a really good pick, because the Yule's Light Strike Array combo always leaves a fraction of a second where you can get that Dark Pact off. So it should be Slark to be able to get out of that, no problem. But still, I mean, picking up at this stage, HGT have a couple heroes they can counteract with. So we'll see any ground target disables kind of come into play, see if they can kind of limit the Slark's movement in this game. If, however, he has a game where he's not controlled too heavily, and there's that axe. That's a perfect example of some ground target disable. Just hit the Berserker's Call, and anybody in the area will be crushed. But, yeah, I kind of felt like Slark was going to be a really good pick this game, just based on the Silver Edge, being able to disable the Brewmaster's passive, no crit, no evasion from him, and he can just go for kills all day long. But that being said, Axe is going to control him pretty well. Maybe Slark has a so-so game, and the HGT can still bring it back pretty well.
Reserve time.
So whenever I see this Brewmaster picked by HGT, I really like to hype up the Air Brewmaster. Brewmaster is an amazing hero with amazing potential, and Air is the one that's been able to channel that the most of any player I have seen with the Brewlinks. The micromanagement of that Primal Split, and just in general knowing this hero. Like, he's the Admiral Bulldog of Brewmaster in my mind, and he really knows how to execute on a whole nother level with this hero. However, we have seen that occasionally he gives it over to Westbrook. XTT in the offlane, he picks up the Brewmaster from time to time, and it's just not as fun. It's not as interesting to see when Air's not playing it. But in this case here, we might see the Axe in the offlane, we might see the Brewmaster in the mid lane, and in that context, we'll see Air pick him up. The other way that they could run the lanes is Axe in the safe lane in ZSMJ's hands. He has played a few Blink farming initiator heroes instead of the standard carry you would expect. And then, yeah, you would look at Io to go for like a dual off lane with like a Bristleback or something. But you're not going to pick a Bristleback into this. Going up against Timbersaw You already have 3 strength heroes online. You don't want a 4th. You actually have to just go for agility here. So we'll probably see offlane Axe and a safe lane carry for CSMJ. Going back to the Phantom Lancer of old. Man, this guy has a lot of history with the hero, being able to farm up fastest Radiance in the East. And in this case, it's probably not going to be a Radiance build. It's going to be that battle build we see just to kind of get the hero involved. And we're going to be seeing them all picked up here. Timbersaw is going to be played by Bingo for TongFu.WZ, taking it to the off lane. It's going to leave Xingqiu to safe lane the Slark. Sayaka and DDR to play the supports for TongFu.WZ and kind of roam around as best they can. And it looks like I am going to have to go for a quick reconnect to the game, as of course this is perfect world issues. This is kind of the standard Chinese Dota lag fest, but you reconnect once, you should be in a good spot, and we'll see how that works. It looks like it's going to be fine. Everybody's moving around as they should, no stutter stepping here. So, yeah, again, Sayaka and DDR are going to be playing the Rubik and Earthshaker respectively, and Rubik is actually carrying an Enchanted Mango, so we'll see if he can get much benefit out of that. At least some good HP regen, but potentially some really good mana burst for either himself or the Earthshaker. I don't see him feeding it to the Timbersaw anytime soon. And last but not least, of course, Yseek will be running on the Shadow Fiend here in the mid. He's going to be looking for the Bound and Bounty Rune, and that should be pretty easy since Westbrook doesn't want any of that. So on the side of Hyperglory team, we're going to see the Bounty Rune picked up. It looks like by the Wisp. Kaka, with his Bottle Rush build, should be looking for it, and yeah, he'll be getting the Bounty Rune to start things off. So Kaka Wisp, of course, is just as legendary as the ZSMJ's Phantom Lancer and Air's Brewmaster, so pretty awesome to see. Pretty Hall going to be running on the Lina, just as support, and may actually end up going for the 5 position, so the Wisp could go for like Guardian's Griefs. The ZSMJ going to be going for the safe lane Phantom Lancer. We'll see him kind of go for just a basic Stout Shield build for now, but building into Wraith Bands and such pretty soon, I'm sure. That could be Magic Wand, though. I mean, these components definitely build right into Magic Wand, so you never know. Anyway, the Wisp is going to make his way down bottom with that bottle. It's going to help out the Axe here. XTT in the offlane going to want to get a little bit aggressive here, but his essences are being stolen. This actually makes the bottle healing more efficient, but it does overall limit the potential for Axe to survive here as he loses strength each hit. They're actually battling out quite actively, and they're going to be able to right-click him a ton here, but the spins are coming out, and it's going to be Xingqiu to fall first, and then Westbrook. Kaka just getting 1 bottle hit out was enough to give him the HP he needed, and a couple lucky spins actually give them the first blood. That's actually a great way to go for a 2v3. That's what we saw last game, and that's what we're going to see again once more, so really interesting to see that offlane take the advantage there. And in a 2v3, anything you can get, but first blood on a carry, hell yeah. That's really good stuff. The reason that Kaka couldn't use more of his bottle there, because he did have 2 extra bottle steps, but the reason he couldn't use more of his bottle is because he didn't have overcharge yet. So he's stuck at full HP, and when you're at full HP, you don't actually heal somebody with bottle. It's an overheal, and therefore the tether doesn't transfer that over. But we're going to see him get a nice little flank. He's going to take some intentional damage here, and then he can always tether away, so... Oh, lifted out of the tether. They're going to do some good damage, but not going to connect with the pounce, so in the end, it doesn't matter too much. Nice play, though. Nice little window of opportunity. So, Earthshaker's just going to go for the double pull here, and that should work out. It's a nice stack coming through for him as well. But yeah, just killing off the creeps with the stacks he already has. And another rune for Io. That's a couple in a row. Doing pretty good for himself. And so his bottle is full once more. We'll check out the other lanes real quick. We've got Shadow Fiend with 15 Necromastery stacks, 12 and 4 in the last hits, and going pretty well against Air, who's going only for 10 and 1. Sometimes you see Air go for the Drunken Haze, but since Shadow Fiend has so much damage potential with the raises, it's probably not worth that 1 value point just yet. Free crit, though, would be nice. Easy crit, easy clap, and a subsequent crit. That's only like a 10% chance, so really lucky on that one, but it works out. We're going to see Pretty Hog get a good flank here onto Bingo, so he's going to try to Timber Chain away, but the stun comes out pretty early, and he'll be just harassed back. No, oh, whoa, if that tree hadn't been cut, that would have actually been some good damage coming into Lena, but also a pretty heavy commitment from the Timbersaw. Now I'm going to see Sayaka taking some hits here. DDR is who they really want, but he's too far away, so they're just going to send some hits into the Rubik and let him go on his way. So they got a good taunt onto the Earthshaker, but he will just head back, and now it's going to be the Slark dueling it out with that Essence Shift. He's going to be stealing some stats, but he's also going to be taking a lot of spins from Westbrook. Kaka trying to contribute the best he can. He has enough HP missing to go for the bottle magic stick play, and Westbrook could just get very manly right here. Like he looks like he's only at 200% HP, but with the bottle, with the magic stick, he can be brought up above half, easy. So he gets his Tranquil Boots up, and suddenly he's looking very strong against Shinkyu, who's out of regen at this point. No HP regen left on the Slark. DDR is going to try to cover up the bottle rune. Very important that he does so, because if he can stop the bottle refresher from Kaka, then they can really start to shut this lane down. But they're going to have to commit to it pretty quickly here. Actually, yeah, Shadowfiend's not even going to make it in time, and DDR doesn't want to fight the Wisp. So it looks like Kaka will get his refill. They're going to try to go for a chain stun here. They do get the bounty rune. They also get the Fisher. Now it's going to be a tether back to Westbrook. Oh no! He gets zapped down, but now Westbrook going in, gets the both spells onto DDR. Going to look for the Roshan deny. And the Earthshaker will not claim it. The last hit comes through. So not great to lose a Wisp, but in the end he still gets his bottle refill. And he'll be heading back down to bottom lane where Westbrook is better off in the end. Mid lane, we're going to see a TP come in here. It's actually going to be to help out Air here. And they don't go for a bottle refill. He's already got the DD rune. They want to go for a kill. And with a crit whack with the double damage rune, they certainly can. They pop the DD rune after the clap. One more hit, and they kill off Yseek. Now Kaka trying to keep him alive against DDR. And if they can turn it now, actually. As soon as they're out of the tower range, they can go right back on the Earthshaker. He's only got 3 armor, and this Brewmaster is hitting for at least 130. So yeah, really good potential damage output there, but they're happy with the Shadow Fiend kill at the very least. So looking at the grand scheme of things right now, Tranquil Boots and Power Chud's already up for the cores of HGT. Air probably looking at a Blink, but could go for the Arcanes pretty early on. That would probably be giving him more lane presence than anything. So he might look for that. In the meantime, Sayaka only at level 3, kind of roaming around here trying to find a place to call home. Slark not really getting too much as far as farm goes. 20-2 is barely ahead of the offlane Axe. Just a lot of pressure being put out by the Wisp and the Axe, and this is kind of the new thing. It's just essentially Wisp +1. Anybody on the offlane that can tank a little bit can do a lot of work with the Wisp, and that means Axe, that means Bristleback, we've seen Night Stalker, anybody tanky with +1 on the Wisp. And they can disrupt that enemy, they can give them some real issues, and we're going to see another attempt at the bottle refill and maybe another attempt at the snipe. No, 2-1, Kaka should be fine here. Getting the bounty rune, snagging it from Yseek, and of course the top rune goes to Air. He pops a haste, he's going in here, they're going for this play. Kaka will take some damage from the Fisher from the raises, but here comes Air with the haste rune, clap, right click, no need to even split, and they're going to get 2. They're going to go in, head off the Earthshaker, and you look at this clap cooling down, he might not even need it as he just gets an easy crit. Oh, the RNG, so many crits coming out for the Brewmaster. They will miss the taunt, but bingo, Timber Chain will be able to set up the kill for Rubik. Still all by himself. 10 Majestic Charges won't be enough here. He's gonna Timber away, but one more stun, and they can get that kill. However, they prioritize the Rubik, the easiest kill they can get with no commitment here. Sayaka will be going down, and that is going to make it 7-3 in favor of HGT. I mean, the only person who's died is really the Wisp twice and the Axe once. I mean, that's just really good. HGT taking an early start, forcing an early lift, and now going to be taking an early tier 1. So Shadow Fiend set back once again, 18 souls, and we're actually going to see Slark take some major damage here. Now there is no Berserker's Call, and there's actually a turnaround, nice hit of the Whirling Death with the Timber Chain. This saps away their stats. It takes away their strength, and it reduces their HP potential so that he can do even more damage. GDR looking for the Fisher block, will connect, but it won't actually kill anybody. They're not caught out. The last right click from Rubik will finish the job though, and Fingo can just jump to the other side. So awkward Fisher block, but they still get what they wanted in the end, and Westbrook is left on his own trying to farm that Blink. But in the meantime, up top, tier 1 pressure, it falls quickly, and they keep the Aquila on for the push down bottom. Look, double siege creeps coming into this tier 2 tower while we watch XTT take a spill here. He gets hit by the pounce, the telekinesis, he goes down, but I think it's even more relevant that they're losing so much HP on this tier 2 tower. Timbersaw goes bottom to help out a struggling lane, and as a result they lose 2 towers thanks to this double siege wave. I believe Pretty Hot pulled it, so they intentionally got this much siege going for them, and now they're going for the tier 3s. Like, kill Axe all you want. If you're giving Phantom Lancer free towers, then yes, he's going to perfectly capitalize on that opportunity. Look at the net worth. 4,700 net worth for ZSMJ, and he's about to march to high ground with this double siege wave. They're still not responding. They're still being pressured down bottom. Slark down to 200 HP. And finally Bingo rotates, but without any mana. They just lost 2 full towers and 300 HP on the tier 3. Just for whatever they could do to try to pin down the Axe, who's still going to get a blink at a great time. Sayaka getting clapped, getting blinked on, getting killed off. Air did not need those arcane boots. He rushes out the blink, and now full initiation and full tempo is in the hands of HGT as they get another kill. Soon enough, Westbrook will have his blink, and with relocate, 2 blink daggers, the range of initiation from HGT is going to be insane. I mean, Yseek, he's trying to do the best he can, but only at level 8. He's their next target. They've got the split up once again. They should be able to chain their stuns up pretty well, but he is pretty far under tower. They're still going to go with the split, and they'll go with the boulder first. So now, going to go for Tornado maybe? No, Leicester Grey is just long enough range. They'll nuke him down from afar, and they're windwalking the Storm Panda forward to get the next Tornado target and bring that guy down. So now they've got 2 for 1 split. There's the taunt, and we are seeing DDR fall. HCT just putting on a clinic here, 10-5. Shinkyu tries to respond, but it's just too late. In fact, Phantom Lancer's here. ZSMJ, not sure if he wants to fight yet, but he's so farmed it doesn't matter. The right clicks are going to kill him before he gets the TP away. Sayaka will fall. Poor Rubik. Oh, ZSMJ just finds the perfect opportunity, and he's got so much farm. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're seeing the drums on him already, the urn on the Wisp. They just have so much momentum here. 7,500 net worth advantage for HGT. 3,300 experience. Just goes to show how valuable those towers are. That they're doubling their net worth advantage when usually it's the other way around. So now they've got 2 blinks. TongFu.WZ, they're fighting from behind. They have to find a way to bail themselves out of this hole. I mean, Shinkyu needs 1 good item to get off his feet for sure. Drums might just have to be the option, just to kind of get some stats flowing. An easy build-up on a Bracer, but no matter what he does, he has to be careful, because that Blink Dagger can come out at any time, and with the Wisp Spirits, that would put him in Culling Blade range very quickly. That is about almost 500 damage. Magical coming in. They're going to combo it up here. A lot of damage. Looks like Sark will be able to pounce away. They won't be able to body block that pounce, but still, dropping him down to 330 HP, forcing him back off the lane. So Yseek trying to farm Ancients here. Like, this is how far away from a safe position to farm they are. I mean, another haste rune for Air? Seriously? Double damage and haste is all this guy's gotten all game long. It's just absurd. They go for the Blink Taunt. They're going to catch him with the clap. Right click and Laguna Blade. No dunk required. They will take a lot of damage to the Chakram. Bingo does force them back a little bit here, but they're going to heal up with the Wisp. He's got Earnest Shadows charges pooling up, and he's going to give one to Westbrook so they can keep chasing. A Blink jump on to Bingo. They're going to be able to dunk him down, and that is going to leave HCT at 13-5 here. Not even 12 minutes into the game. Tier 1 tower going to fall next, and man, they are just backs against the wall. TongFu.WZ, they need some help, but Relocate is not going to help them if they can just cancel it. They do! They Blink Call onto Yseek. Generally speaking, a TP scroll is enough to stop you from getting caught out by a level 1 Relocate, but the Blink Shift Q from Westbrook allows him to go for the instant call, and it's not going to keep him alive. He pushes, he dies. And that's what he's afraid of. That's why he's farming his own Ancients here 12 minutes into the game, is because he doesn't have a choice. They will ping out this ward. At least they know that Wisp placed this one, thanks to the intel provided by this observer on the bottom rune. Jumping onto Shinkyu, Westbrook gets the call. They are able to Spirit Lance and almost get the dunk. They'll let him walk away with the Shadow Dance on cooldown.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So now TongFu.WZ smoked up, looking for the initiation. They will find, an opportunity, but it's going to be a call against the Earthshaker. Can't follow through. Spirit Lance stolen, thrown the other way, but Westbrook taking a lot of damage here. The Wisp heals him up. Kaka with the bottle and the Urn of Shadows, and they'll just pursue to finish off the Rubik, who pretty much knew he was dead. Like, you don't get out of that situation running off to the east, separating yourself from the allies. He just wanted to kind of let everybody else get out freely, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Bingo, despite a nice timber chain to this low ground tree, is not going to be able to escape because the Brewmaster has that blink to follow through. So, HGT, 16-5, looking for the next tower, just building more and more momentum to the point that TongFu.WZ have almost no response. I mean, Seek has Treads, Bottle, Wraithband, and 1400 gold. Like, what item could he go to put himself back in the game? Mechanism would be lovely, but even then, does it matter? Will he get the chance to use it? I'm not so sure. Blade Mail on the axe, why not? Anytime you see the Requiem popping, you just pop the Blade Mail and suddenly Shadow Fiend kills himself. In fact, he's going to be going for a Shadow Blade, it looks like. Seek on the Shadow Fiend, looking for the Lothars to kind of give himself a chance to maybe go for a one-hit KO play. Oh, Shinkyu having to TP away immediately upon seeing ZSMJ, and that's going to allow him to fall back. So, Blade Mail complete on the axe. And at least for a brief moment, it seems like the aggression is stifled. I mean, we do see Seek going in. Blade Mail could easily counteract it, but it's not there yet. Still, the Requiem comes out ×2, or at least ×1.5, and they do some good damage. Bingo, almost catching out Kaka, but he gets to the other side of the fissure, and oh my gosh. Bingo doesn't last long. Sayaka, the last man in the fight. He has a Laguna Blade. He throws it. It's a chip off the shoulder of Air's Brewmaster. And they can just go for Roche here. Clean things up. I mean, they can go for towers, they can go for Roche, they can go for pretty much whatever they want. HGT in such a commanding position. 15,000 net worth, 10,000 experience, and yeah, the mechanism just about finished on the Wisp. Once that mech comes out, I don't know if there is a point of safe return for TongFu.WZ. I feel like they might be too far gone. There's just the only thing they're lacking is that mechanism, and then HGT can push to the high ground. Shadow Fiend discards the Claymore and goes for the Amulet. I don't know if this is like a Glimmer Cape play or if this is just I prefer this item. Either way, he's got to get one good surprise attack with this Requiem or they're done for. They are absolutely done for. Roche going down pretty quickly here. Brewmaster with the Haze able to tank it up pretty well. And the Aegis will be going to ZSMJ. Kaka only 120 gold off of that mechanism. Once the Wisp picks up like the 17-minute mechanism, Urn, Bottle, and Magic Stick, I don't really know how you deal with this team, how you actually kill somebody reliably. Like, you could try to go for Burst Plays. Bingo could try to go for Whirling Death, jumping in, but he's only level 7. If we just look at levels alone, you'll see what this kill count has done for HGT's lineup. 11 kills. Level 11 on Phantom Lancer, Brewmaster, and Axe. Only the SF has kept up with that, and then everybody else is 9 or below. You have a level 6 Earthshaker, a level 7 Timbersaw, and Rubik. Even the Lina and the Wisp outclass the Timbersaw at this point in the game. So, we're going to see pressure coming out, Relocate coming through, just to pick up items it looks like. He's going to be the courier. He's going to get Brewmaster's components? No, he's only selfish. He won't get anything from for his allies. He's just going to get his own item, and suddenly, Wisp has mechanism, if not the Relocate. So they will lose the tier 1 top, it looks like. They're going to sacrifice that. The first tower of the game going for TongFu.WZ. They desperately need this gold, but in the meantime, their high ground's being pushed. Tier 3 being under pressure, and Kaka's got that mechanism. As long as he keeps his mana pool up, it looks like he'll be fine to keep ZSMJ tanking. And the Illusion Army is doing some work. Fade Bolt bounces infinitely, though, so they will clear out some creeps, some illusions. Try to hold from a far along position, but Shadow Fiend still doesn't have that blade. Do they have detection? Dire don't have any detection, so if Shadow Fiend finds that Shadow Blade, he actually sells a branch for it. Now he can go in and maybe go for the back end Requiem. 35 souls. It does round down, but I think this could still be a good play. Going in, they just need to lock somebody in position. Brewmaster goes in first, though. The split's already out. There's going to be a Requiem on the backside, but he can't find anyone. There's the Requiem trying to nuke down ZSMJ, but Kaka's got the overcharge. He'll just mech him up. Suddenly ZSMJ's full HP, and they can't even kill the damn Wisp on the front line. Brewmaster and the Panda finishing things off, and that is going to be HGT to take an 18-minute victory here in their first game of the 2-game series. What an impressive showing from HGT. Like I said, when HGT are having a bit of a rough day, I would say that they're about on par with TongFu.WZ's skill level. But we here see them on a great day playing just the best Dota they can bring, and it's not even close. TongFu.WZ just get wiped out. They have got to bring something new to this next game because that was disastrous. TongFu.WZ, I'm trying to think of where it really went wrong. Trading the first blood on bottom, giving Axe the first blood there over the Slark, obviously was a bad way to start it off. Giving Air Brewmaster really seems like a strategic problem. But I think the biggest problem of the three is actually the fact that they let Phantom Lancer push up top for that as long as they did. He took out 2 towers and even got to the tier 3 tower without a single hero even glancing at the top lane. They were so focused on countering Axe and Io that they forgot that by extension, ZSMJ was giving all those heroes gold by just killing tower after tower after tower. And from there, TongFu.WZ dug themselves a net worth hole they could not recover from. Anyways, that's going to wrap up Game 1. We're going into Game 2 in just a few minutes, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, to Beyond the Summit, check out BeyondTheSummit.tv for all things BTS related. And, of course, if you enjoyed the commentary, look to support me by following me at twitter.com/blazecasting. See you guys in just a few minutes for Game 2, Hyperglory Team versus TongFu.WZ.